Welcome to Eating Enlightenment. My name's Jared, and this is a special solo episode that will explore the new changes going on at Eating Enlightenment. Basically, good news. We're seeing growth. I'm having a lot of fun, and this video that is being turned into a podcast episode will review these new changes that are happening at the podcast and Eating Enlightenment in general. Enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome to Eating Enlightenment. This is going to be me just talking today for about 10 minutes or so about new changes at the Eating Enlightenment podcast. So for starters, this is a 10-minute episode, and I'm going to be doing more of these. This is coming from a transition where I'm seeing a lot of growth on the podcast, and it's very exciting. So I want to give you guys more content because it seems like people are starting to like it. I'm starting to like it. Not that I didn't like it, but I'm really starting to like it. I'm really starting to like interviewing guests. I've gotten out of that uncomfortable phase that happens whenever you learn a new skill, whenever you try something new. And it's been, a couple hundred episodes of the first podcast. And that's a long time to finally get out of to finally feel comfortable with something that was once uncomfortable. But it's here. I'm enjoying podcasts after a long, long time, really enjoying them. I've always found benefit out of them. I've always found benefit learning. That was part of my values that drew me to podcasting, is being able to interview people. But I'm more shy. I can retract. My tendencies are to avoid people. And so it's always been a struggle for me to get out there and interview people. But lately it's been a shift, and I'm just really enjoying it. The growth is happening. And so season 2 is coming up of the podcast. What's that mean? What's that going to be like? Here's my vision for it. And if you have thoughts or opinions or comments, suggestions, I'm open to it. This podcast is going to be a spiritual eating podcast. The format is going to be loosely based on affirmations, and these upcoming 4 episodes will be guests who I have started to do affirmations with. For example, I believe our next guest is going to be talking about 4 words: mindfulness, intention, and movement, and pausing. And for each of these words, we discussed what it meant to her, how she helped clients with it. Just like we talked about the word, got a feel for the energy of the word. And then we moved on to the different word, and we explored these different words that related to healing from eating, self-confidence, health, nutrition, mindsets, etc. And then I started to refine this idea about affirmations, because while that episode was very linear, we got the words and affirmations, a few of these upcoming episodes, I sat down with the intention, and me and the podcast guest would chat about it beforehand. And I sat down with the best of intentions to go through this linear sequence of affirmations and uncover their affirmations. And it didn't work out that way. We bounced from topic to topic. We stayed with one affirmation or one theme, but it really wasn't clear what it could be summarized with in one short, quick word. So there were challenges when I started doing these next few episodes based on affirmations. And so what I've realized in the format going forward, at least that's something that we'll test, and you can let me know how it works. But up at the front of the episode, I'll talk to the guest about their principles of transformation. And then we'll kind of loosely go through these principles, but we'll be able to weave these principles into each step. So instead of waiting for movement to come at the end and then talking about movement, when we know the affirmations and words ahead of time, I'll be able to play with the guest on the podcast more, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's probably coming up in step 4. And we'll be able to present a more holistic perspective about these different principles and how they intertwine and how they move together and how everything kind of fits together. So it's not linear, right? I feel like linear is probably my tendency to want things neatly planned out in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. But probably when people get together, it's a little more spontaneous than that. And so that'll be the basic format. We'll cover the words in the beginning of the podcast episode, and then we'll weave them in. We'll kind of go step by step, but we'll also weave. So I got a good feeling about this. I'm very excited. If you're listening to the podcast, by the way, this is a YouTube video as well. And so season 2 of the podcast will also feature these little 10-minute short video clips, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I don't want to go over 10 minutes, but it'll be these little conversations, and usually they will be paired with a reading, a blog. I'm blogging a lot, and I'm starting to do more and more videos for the blog articles. And just a little side note too, just letting you in on the back end of this business. Recently we've been getting more email subscribers, basically. I shifted a few things on the website, made a few different things more prominent, and it changed a few different words, and getting a lot more email subscribers, which is very exciting. And I'm discovering different ways of connecting with everyone on the email list, from surveys to just asking for replies to doing these videos right here and asking for your feedback. I'm open to it. Seriously, I'm open to it. Getting a sense of what works for people. I'm prioritizing the email list, my connection, these one-on-one emails. I'm prioritizing that and really trying to deliver content that really, really helps, that is really, really geared for the email list, what they're looking for. And so what I'm doing is I'm producing these blog articles and these videos based upon like what I'm hearing from the email list, because that's the business, right? Like that's where I connect most deeply. That's where I've always been to writing. That's where I share most vulnerably. It seems more private to me. And so for the email list, I'm producing this content, and I'm like, well, I might as well start these little video blogs, these videos that I'm putting in the blogs for the email list. I might as well put them in the podcast too. I'm having fun with them. The podcast is growing. Why don't we just like double dip and I'll share these trainings on the podcast? So we're still going to do an interview based show for season 2, but it'll be based on affirmations. But we're also going to incorporate these little solo episodes that oftentimes will have a video blog with them. Those are the major changes that are going on right now. And yeah, just letting you know. If you do want to get connected with me, get on that email list. I'm sure you can find a way at eatingenlightenment.com. There's a quiz, there's an opt-in. You'll find a way. That's where I communicate. So we'd love to have you on that email list. And other than that, yeah, go take a look at eatingenlightenment.com. There's a quiz that will tell you, it'll evaluate you on the 13 criteria for binge eating disorder. That's from the Diagnostic Statistics Manual, DSM-5, where they cover the clinical, medical criteria of binge eating disorder. And then this quiz will also kind of estimate, if you don't qualify for binge eating disorder, what are you? Stress eater, emotional eater, compulsive eater? So take that quiz at eatingenlightenment.com. And really excited about season 2, where that's taking us. Looking forward to growing this little relationship that is becoming Eating Enlightenment. Just pretty excited about where things are going. So let's just keep it short and sweet. We're coming up on 10 minutes. Yeah. All right. Peace. Wait. I'm trying to end on this, namaste. All right. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support, everything that you contribute, your energy. I'm just so grateful. If you do want more information about the 13 different criteria for binge eating disorder, check out eatingenlightenment.com or subscribe. There's buttons on my website that you can subscribe. The email list where I email people is where I communicate primarily to the people in this little tribe, this growing little tribe. And that's where my heart and soul is at. Just, it's where I always have felt more comfortable just sharing one-on-one writing. So you can get on that email list at eatingenlightenment.com by taking the quiz or downloading a resource guide. It's at eatingenlightenment.com. Be sure to check out the website. And again, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.